And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. Thank you all so much for coming back. I'm your host, Matt Wayman. Join us online, as always, Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. Guys, we're going to jump right in. Spicy Part 1. Two sweet, sweet daddy babies out of Chicago, Illinois. Everybody, please give it up, Mr. David Phillips, Mr. Jason Melton. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, thank you for having us, man.
We appreciate you. Yeah, right? Just in between the two shows that we're doing together tonight.
It's nice to leave a digital record
right?
of my existence in a space.
Everybody's like, did you guys really go to Denver? Or did you guys just talk like you went to Denver? And you're like,
yeah,
no.
man. Well, that's part of the illusion, man. You'll never quite
They'll never
know.
figure out we're on Skype right now.
Right? Yeah. So what are you guys doing? Are you guys doing a little tour right now? Or what are you guys getting into?
Yeah, man, we had some free time. We're just doing road shows.
Yeah.
You know? It's weird to call it a tour, but I think the word tour is overused.
You think?
Nowadays. Well,
you do 2 days and then somebody calls it a tour these days?
Yeah.
No.
Well, there's also,
It's fun. There's like so many different like people who are good at things that are your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to go do shows with your friends and then also have other friends who are good at drawing stuff, make a poster for it.
Yeah.
And so it feels like a tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then like everybody does this every weekend.
But you guys selling merch?
So it's kind of like it's kind of just like
then
a big.
It's not a tour.
It's kind of like we're not selling shirts.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You know, we called it Jason and David's extended car ride.
That's awesome.
It really is. We're just running errands.
Yeah.
I told Jason like I don't get a lot of work in like January for my day job, and so I'd like to buy groceries in a more like a rocky climate. Like
Colorado's got the best Costco's. I feel like you guys realize that.
We want some high altitude soda. You know?
You can't. This stuff isn't carbonated the same way as it is up in these Rocky Mountains. That's for sure. Everybody.
Yeah, what Denver's pop scene like, man?
Dude, it's crazy these days. A lot of like
is it soda. Is it?
It's soda here, but it's just like a lot of like like real sugar sodas, actual cane sugar.
Okay.
It's a cane sugar
cane
based.
in it. It's got a little cane.
What's the ginger beer situation?
Ginger beer situation's hot, man. Not enough home ginger beer situation, but we got the Goslings, which I feel like they're really pushing the limit a lot these days in a good way.
Yeah, Goslings. Yeah.
But everybody's got Goslings. But I mean, what else are you gonna do to push the ginger beer movement where it needs to be?
If I go to a gas station tomorrow, there's gonna be like a Dad's root beer in there. That
Not your dad's root beer. It's because that root beer respects you. You know what I mean? That's why.
Yeah.
It's like root beer that gets you drunk a little bit. You got to drink 5 of them. Then you get really drunk off root beer. And then you're like, why am I going to drink root beer after this? Because you got drunk off it. You can't do it.
I love the root beer drunk, which is just sick.
Just like so sugar.
No, yeah.
Diabetic
Drinking
coma.
A lot of beer will make you a specific kind of sick, which is hungover
I
or
want to keep
drunk
root
or whatever.
beer alcohol free, man. It reminds me of my grandma and being a child. I don't want to mix it with calls to my ex-girlfriend. And
Gam. You know what I mean? Remember that back in the day?
Hey,
yeah.
Caffeine-free, sugar-free
Let's
Diet
just get some
Coke.
root beers and play some dominoes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Remember her spirit. Maybe do some Ouija board. Maybe conjure up a little bit and see if what she's got to say about your life now. Who knows?
Still alive.
Okay.
And I love her very much.
Skype her on the Ouija board, baby. Put that cell phone down on top. See if she can move it around.
Grandma's been FaceTiming me on my Ouija board.
You need to quit it, Grandma. I'm trying to do stuff up here. You're not even dead yet. You're still taking over this Ouija board culture.
I feel like even if my grandmother, I said, why would I? Both my grandmothers are dead. I'm 2 for 2 on that.
Nice.
I was gonna say just because you killed both of them,
I almost hypothetically my grandmother's alive and then killed them off again.
I'd be into both.
I feel like they'd still not quite get me, even from the grave.
They'd still be like, kind of like, I don't know if where you're going is where I would have liked
comedy,
it.
Where they put quotes around it.
Question. Yeah, I still get the quotes for sure.
That would be the worst afterlife, is trying to figure out what your grandkids are
up to.
Them.
Trying to piece it together.
Not fully understanding what an iPad actually is. Just like thinking it's the tool of the devil still.
Well, he seemed happy.
He touches himself on every piece of on every technological advice he gets.
Yeah.
So you guys, how's the Chicago comedy scene these days?
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Chicago
a lot of people, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
A lot of people look at Chicago and they go improv right away. They think it's an improv town.
And weirdly, the improv and stand-up is a bit separate. Like, I don't know a lot of improvisers. We kind of
that do stand-up, or
there's not a lot. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Like,
there is in the
Venn
diagram of the city.
Yeah.
There is like that little middle section, and I'd say that's gotten a lot better the last couple of years.
With people doing both more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, it's also the
But the
test.
majority
It attests
of people
to
do one or
the.
the other, though.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Well, it attests to the popularity of stand-up over the last 5 years. That's gotten more popular.
That
So
has
if
been
you're
getting a
like
lot more.
if you're like 22 years old and you just graduated college, which is like you know that 5 to 15 year grace period after college to
Yeah.
figure stuff out.
I appreciate that
That's
much.
when someone who wants to be a comedian maybe like moves to like whatever city.
Right.
Yeah.
In the case of Chicago, it used to be like, well, I'm young, I'll go do the whole improv thing and
Second City.
maybe get a job with
City.
Second City, and if I wash out, I'll go something else, right?
Huh.
But now
lot
it's
of
like
people
I can
do.
go to Chicago and I can do stand up because there's people
Yeah.
that have done that now.
It's a stand-up town. But
it's
yeah.
both, yeah. It's super because of the Second City, man. Everyone wants to do SNL, and all the famous
Yeah.
SNL people went through Second City. So
Yeah.
there's like, but there's also like a jaded improv scene that starts doing stand up, and it's like
The vintages of Jade.
there's no
Yeah.
money. There's no money improv for years,
Yeah,
years
yeah.
and years.
I've never made it money.
My
off
buddy has
improv.
been doing improv for like I was talking to him. He's been doing improv for Mike and Ish. He's been doing improv for I think he did IO. He's done all the classes like multiple times. The best you could hope for is to eventually teach a class. That's
Yeah,
that's how you make
seriously,
money.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And then it's everybody throwing in $5 or something like that at the same
no,
time.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you got to pay for these classes that are expensive, hundreds of dollars for
You do either.
Do you guys look at it from the stand-up side as like a sham, kind of in a way, or do you think? I mean, because like I feel like everybody's like we go to Chicago and then we go to Second City and before that SNL thing.
I think if you're
don't
looking
know.
for
It's
like
hard
a
to say.
cynical look, I think if you're a cynical person, you'd see it that
Yeah.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's
and that's
there's
like
shams and stand up the same way.
Oh, of
you know?
course, like bringer competitions and
shows,
shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's like because I did that whole thing when I first moved there, and I feel like it also they're like overpriced classes. Will I
Definitely.
say they're overpriced? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I say there's a
Yeah.
bit like sometimes of a pyramid scheme type vibe, or
Yeah.
like it's just like a
Little
fake
culty.
Yeah,
little
yeah, for
culty.
sure.
Well, yeah, there's a little culty, sure, but I think if you're a smart person, you kind of immediately pick up on what it is, and you can,
Definitely.
as an adult, decide whether, because it's competition. It's a vetting process where you pay to become the next people that maybe get a job.
Yeah,
on a
definitely.
boat or on the main stage, or
For sure.
if you want to become a better comedic actor, or whatever.
Right, yeah,
There's
a lot of
definitely
people do that to try and get commercial auditions, and that's a lot
Definitely.
of work from. But like improv is like I don't know, like women's studies or philosophy. There's no direct job.
it's like a weird,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a weird theater grad school.
Trust me, my girl over the couch, she was a women and gender studies major. You know what I mean? She did it, right, baby?
She's watching TV.
She just looked. She just looked over confused, which means yes.
She always said that she never listened to the pod, like when we were recording. So I wanted to actually see if
You know
she
the thing
did.
too is like
Listen over.
you'll sometimes hear people who like. I think it's easy to take that like angle on it, but it's. I think the cool thing of going to a city like Chicago, which isn't like New York, which isn't L.A., which is
Yeah.
you don't go there necessarily to be famous. You go there because like, oh, that's where these cool people who are good got
Yeah.
good,
Definitely.
and
It
so
has-
you do
TJ
there,
and
and then
Dave,
you get
biggest improv in the.
you
Yeah.
get thrown
Well-
in with people who are
Well, those
all
dudes-
like you, who are funny, who are bright, who are smart, and you guys. And it's like
TJ and Dave are maybe the only improvisers in the city who get paid for doing
That make
improv.
cash, yeah.
But it is like I think
Consistently.
Chicago is renowned as a workout city.
Because there's
It's like-
different
it's how you
theaters
become
too.
Funny.
Yeah, it's
a
like
heavy bag.
grinding
Yeah.
it out. Do you think it's the same way for stand up too? It's a grinder city because I've
Yeah, totally.
There,
Yeah,
you know, and
absolutely.
people look at it. You know, the Hannibal like when Hannibal Buress moved away. I don't know if it was like a mass exodus at that time, but I know that like
There's
it
a
was.
mass exodus every year.
Yeah, right. So it's like everybody. What? Just is it more New York? Like, because in this scene in Denver, everybody moves out to L.A.
Yeah.
So is it the same in
We're-
Chicago, or they
you
go
know,
to New York?
It's half and half. It depends on the flavor of the comedian usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
there is
yeah.
there's still that romance of New York and stand up.
I still think it myself. I feel it. You know.
But
Well, New York's a romantic city, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's alluring. It's the only place. It's like the most culturally significant city.
I just feel like they
in the
won't lie to me
world
like
for,
LA
the
will.
last
Be like, you're
50
good.
years.
This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying, though, the flavor of the stand-up, because I think that the more purist stand-ups want to go
Mm-hmm.
to New York and the more like alty experimental people go to LA because they're like, I could possibly get into
That's a good point. Absolutely. I think that's a good point.
That.
I feel like Chicago's kind of straight down the middle a little bit. Like sometimes you see some guys go maybe a little bit alty, but it's always really joke heavy, which I really like about the Chicago. Like when somebody hits me up from Chicago and they're like, hey, I'm coming through Denver, I'm like, absolutely. Because I know they have jokes. Like, as opposed to some LA people, I don't know if they do.
Yeah, they're definitely, even like the stranger people, like acts, like people are taking these crazy chances. Like, I would agree. Yeah, there is a very
Peterburg Sisters, I think, are a good example of coming out of Chicago hard.
They're heading out to LA.
They're going out to LA. But of
sail.
like being able to do really fucking cool, like alt / different comedy in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, and like their thing is, they are so like they disguise it with like the casual nature of their act.
Yeah.
For anybody's never seen them, it seems very conversational, like very off the cuff.
Yeah.
But then if you watch them, it's joke. They just trade jokes back and forth.
Definitely.
It's almost like vaudevillian in a way.
Of course. Of
It's
kind of like
an
melding the
old-fashioned
lines.
work ethic to like building the structure of what it, and then you can hang whatever on the frame you build.
Yeah.
And go where they want to go.
They're great, man. I saw their last show in Chicago the other day. It was
Oh,
amazing.
cool.
Yeah, they left this weekend.
Their going away show?
Yeah.
I bet that was really fun.
Super fun, man.
And plus, like, really sweet people, and I found that a lot of that, like, the people I meet from Chicago are really open and wanting to meet different people, too.
Yeah.
Which
There's
some cities you don't find.
There's a warmth there. Sometimes you gotta like dig a little bit, find it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. It might be the Midwest thing, and that people are friendly or whatever.
Definitely.
But I think people in Colorado are so friendly since we got here. You don't think so?
I think they are, man.
You
I
think
think
they are? Yeah,
because I moved down here from New Orleans by way of St. Louis originally, where I'm from, so Midwest boy, but very collaborative and stuff like that. You know, like you guys hit us up and we're just like, we want to do the show. It's like, absolutely, you guys do the show.
I feel like we just caught that gas station on a good day.
Yeah, right.
That's what David said. That's perfect. Is like he's like, the weather's really nice.
Yeah,
people are
it was
cool,
60 degrees today. It was great.
People are really nice even when it's shitty up here. Like people still get out.
Bouncing, man.
We're on the border of Nebraska and Colorado. There was no reason to be happy.
Yeah, no, Nebraska.
What a strange demilitarized zone that
right in between.
Right on one side's Nebraska and one other one's Colorado, and just like
that's why there's that big sign because everybody wants to know what side they're on of this battle.
Yeah.
There's probably some bad blood that goes back to the Civil War that nobody really wants to talk about, but somebody's dad.
Like Nebraska fought for the Union, but everyone felt they weren't happy.
No, everybody was like, we felt the other way, but they bought into that system, which you can feel in that.
Like Iowa guilt tripped them into it or something.
Which is the only thing Iowa's accomplished in a while, in a fun way. Shout out to Iowa, though. We respect you, Iowa. I love Des Moines. You guys did Des Moines.
We were in Des Moines 2 days
Joey
ago.
Ficken up in Des Moines.
And Ames, actually.
Yeah, it is Ames.
Yeah, we did Joey.
I was fun. We always have a good time.
This whole time I've been trying.
Omaha's cool.
I'm trying to think of facts to defend Iowa, and I can't. I grew up there. I can't remember 5 of them. Okay.
Iowa was the first state to legalize gay marriage, right?
It was absolutely.
Hell yeah, Iowa.
That's crazy, man.
Good for you, Iowa.
Iowa's a weird head-shaped no man's land of ideologies.
It is. Just in the international waters of this country, really just caught in the middle, but still, doing the right thing and the wrong thing at the same time. You know what I mean? Just kind of floating in those international waters.
It's just sloshing. It's its own big boat.
It doesn't know. So this is as fast as they go, gentlemen. We are getting down. We got about 45 seconds left on the first episode of this. I want you guys to give some plugs. Give you guys Chicago plugs. What kind of shows you guys run?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to plug for the podcast? Where people can find you in Chicago?
2 things. Please check out my stand-up comedy show, the Yeah Buddy Awesome Time, twice a month in Wicker Park, Saturdays, 2nd and 4th Saturdays.
Hell yeah.
YouTube. Google it.
Google it.
Also check out Cocaine Murder Jam. It's a sketch video show I do. It's we got a YouTube up. Check that out.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
What is that? What's the?
It's
just so people know for.
Dude, it's really like a chaotic kind of show of videos and sketch. It's really hard to summarize it. It's deals with like a lot of weird. It's alternative.
It's kind of like the agency show. Yeah. Saturday, no, just like plug, immediately replug.
No, you know what?
I believe the technical term for what your show is prop heavy goof 'em ups.
That's fun.
I don't want to go fast. When you started doing this agency show, I was like, dude, this is like Cocaine Murder Jam a lot because you had the videos and everything going.
Just the videos in between.
We shoot our own videos where you had like a whole a bunch of different
Nice.
sketch groups doing it.
No, that was our original goal to be able to shoot all the videos, but we are just too lazy for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's always the guy who says he'll edit it. He bottlenecks.
Dude, I'm telling you. Thank you.
You don't have a good editor.
I feel like we're the same person now that you said that.
A month.
You can film everything, and we had another, and then once it gets to the editing
first guy,
phase.
Here's the tip for any sketch group out there that wants to put up funny videos on the internet. You could have a great idea. You could be great writers. You could have great people who can shoot it and it looks beautiful. Like almost always, the first guy, unless you can trust him right away, that first guy, if he pipes up and he's like, and I can edit it, and if you feel like that feeling,
don't let him edit it.
Just like maybe like go, okay, we'll think about it.
We'll think about Jeff editing this goddamn thing.
Jeff,
you're not gonna be 3-second cuts too long.
Would you think the editors are like the drummers of the?
I would think so, but I also think they're like the lead singer too, because I feel like the editing is the most important part. Because you can take a trash video and make it so good.
It is best done by the most unreliable people.
Thank you. God, I'm so glad that summed out the end of this. And yeah, give your plugs real quick. But after that, Jim, that was great.
Tuxedo Cat Comedy in Ukrainian Village in Chicago, twice a month. And what else? Doing sketches. I'm trying to think of Jason Melton analogs, which I guess I have too.
Oh, you have the
Actual Murders at the Beat Kitchen every week.
There's so many funny people in that group. I want to catch that show coming up.
And then this month, 30th at North Bar, we're doing our first actual standalone show.
Nice.
So,
congratulations.
Weird,
that's
man.
awesome. Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out for part 1 of this. We're going to be right back with part 2. Thank everybody for listening. Follow us online at Twitter at Words with Wayman. Thank you so much again, and we will see you right back for part 2.